in essence, how a lot of top players, starting to understand it's not possible. May I ask why you didn't realise that when you first came into the club?
Yes, guys, just watching a few bits and pieces, just looking back. Hope you're good, guys. We're on a live right now. We just come straight on after the game. Ellen Road, Leeds versus Manchester United, Man United. We'll talk about that in a minute, but always a tough game that, The rivalry, sometimes I don't think it's understood outside of Yorkshire and Manchester, but there's a deep rivalry that goes way back many years, and it's different at Ellen Road. It feels much... There's more animosity. There's more venom at Ellen Road. They're desperate to beat Man United. They hate Man United. I think Man United, they don't like Leeds, but I think they hate other teams more, which is understandable. But it's but yeah, man, it was you could see the atmosphere looked really good. Leeds were aggressive. I thought again, Man United, I think, handled the situation in terms of the size of the game, in terms of what it meant. And going there and handling the fan base, I thought they'd done that well. I think the goal was just, it felt like a bit of a lapse in concentration, giving the ball away in a silly area, a bit casual. And then I don't think we react maybe quick enough. Heaven, who's been brilliant the last few weeks, maybe just reacts a little bit slow, not expecting a problem at that point. And then by the time he reacts, it's too late. And the kid, to be fair, goes in and scores. It's a good goal. But yeah, it come at a silly time when we didn't look like conceding, really, I didn't think. But I've got to say, looking at, I think the draw is a fair result. I think we've got a fair result in that sense. I think there's a couple of talking points for this week. I think one of them is I watched, and I was just watching before I came on here, just watching it again. I watched Amorim in the press conference. The look and feel of him looks different, doesn't it? There's a difference. I can't put my finger on it. I can't. I'm assuming he's not happy. He don't look happy. He's always been, whether he's in a bad mood or good mood, you'd never know, because he'd come in there jovial all the time. This is the first time I've seen him in the press conference, and you go, something's really not right there. And what is it? Is it going to be enough to be like a catastrophic kind of big part of the two sides at the football club, him and the club? I don't know if it's that big enough of a problem, what it seems. He might just be peed off that he's been asked the same questions week in, week out, and you've got people in the room who are passing opinions with questions that he's thinking, how dare you ask me that in that manner, in that tone? I don't know. I think there's a number of things maybe going on. They're saying that there's been a problem. I think the rumours in the papers that there's been a bit of an issue between Jason Wilcox and the recruitment side of things and him, Rúben Amorim. Whether that's true or not remains to be seen. I think these things always come out in the wash, and we find out in due time. And his answers were just, he flatlined a lot of the questions. And that just isn't Rúben Amorim. He did one of the refreshing things about him, whether you like it or not, I thought was always refreshing. You got an answer out of him. And some of the time you could see and you'd know that the Man United PR guys and the press guys will be behind the scenes going, oh, please just leave this answer out. Just bounce on from this one. Don't answer it. But he'd always answer it. And he'd always give you an honest appraisal of things. And you go, do you know what? Okay, yeah, it made you warm to him a bit more. But he flatlined a few questions, especially ones around the formation and stuff. This in the press conference before the game that made you think, well, things don't seem, they can't be going too well behind the scenes. Listen, the team isn't as consistent as we want it. And you know what? You know, you give it a mid-season kind of appraisal of where we're at. We're in a better position than we were last year. And there's a lot of people that are going, oh my God, where it's terrible. It's the end. It's the end of the world right now. That's how people are moving on. Some people's cholesterol is going through the roof, and they've got to calm it down. Some people's blood pressures are really at their end of their tether, but they're pushing it too far, and it's going to be fatal. It could be fatal. They carry on like this, right? But what I would say is that we ask for improvements. You can't ask for Man United to go from 15th to like Champions League position, and like you can't do that and go, we have to be Champions League next year. Given where we were last year, we were terrible last year. Our finishing position was atrocious last year. So for anyone to sit there and be going, "Oh, we expect to be Champions League," or "I'm not happy with what's going on now," no one's happy with how we are at the moment. But I would say there's been an improvement in position, 100% in the league of where we are right now from last season. Am I happy? Am I satisfied? No. I want more. We need more. But there has been an improvement, and that can't be looked down upon. I think you've got to appreciate that. I still think the manager needs a couple more of his players in the club to be able to play the way he wants to play. If he's not going to change his style. And one of the big things, I think, this is probably why he didn't change and has been so stubborn. He thought, if I do change the way I play, the system and the shape to a certain degree, or I tweak it, and we do well, that will be used to hang me. That'll be the thing that goes, well, why can't you do that every week? And he's adamant, and I'm with him on this to a certain point, right? He was recruited as a manager for a particular style of football, knowing a particular formation he played and he favoured. So why would he come here and change it? Would you change it? If for what got you there, you were winning in your league as well. You were being courted by Manchester United. And all the conversations that you would have had with that club would have been, this is the way I play. I'm not going to come in and change. This is who I am. This is why you're talking to me. Let's go. Why would he change? I think you've got to adapt. But change? That means he's going to be deploying a formation and a way of playing that he's going to be behind other people on, because that's not his thing that he's prided himself on and spent hours working on every eventuality with that formation. I don't know. Again, I'll repeat, you need to be adaptable. But should he have to change everything that he does? I don't think so. And I would probably agree with him to a certain point. But I would say that he would. I would like to have seen him adapt a bit more, given with when he's had injuries, lack of confidence, lack of form, players leaving for the AFCON and stuff like that. So I think you've got to be a bit more adaptable in that sense. But what I would say is I'm really looking to see what happens in this next window. As I said, we've got players out through being away with the AFCON who are massive influential players. And you see, sometimes you know more about a team and players when they're not here. And what I would say, we look a bit more potent. There's more thrust to our play with Mbuma, with Ahmad especially. And I think we are missing them in that sense. But we're still creating chances. We're still scoring goals. But I think it's been like this for a while now. We just aren't clinical enough. Even today, Sesko had a great chance, near post, side foot. A confident Sesko scores that. Sesko in Germany probably scores that goal. Do you know what I mean? It's just a lack of confidence. I'm happy that he's there missing that. I'm happy he's there missing it. I'd rather him be there and miss that than not have a chance at all. So that's a positive to take out of it. I'm trying to drag positives out here. I thought, yeah, when I first saw it, I thought he could have just smelt danger a bit quicker. And I think there's the sign of top defenders are the ones that are sitting there expecting mistakes before they happen, putting himself into position just in case. But he's young. He's a kid. He's a baby as a defender. And then you have to say and point out he's been brilliant the last couple of weeks, man. I think played a month for Man United this month. So he's been performing really well. I think, as I said, you can say a lapse of concentration for him maybe, but even then, I don't think you can pinpoint the whole thing on him. I think it was lazy play up the field. I think Leny Yoro playing again, starting. It's funny, I just had a conversation with Thierry Henry actually, and we were talking, and he's known him for a long time, obviously being French as well, known of him, seen him come through, and Thierry's a student in the game, man, proper. And he was talking about a couple of things. It's true. We were talking about some aspects of Leny Yoro's game that can really, I think, help him if he works on it on the training field. I said the same thing about Dorgu. When you get into a certain area, have 2 or 3 maximum options in your head that they're the only options you're going to play, and you keep doing them, just repeating them, do reps, do them in training. Leny Yoro, I think, needs to have a couple of them. Your fullback's your last pass, right? And then where's your 10? Man United play with 2 10s today. If I played in a team with 2 10s, oh my God. Oh my, you know what? I would be up there with the assist before the assists. I'm telling you, because that ball into the front man, I was looking for a number 9 who was marked by 2 centre halves with a number 10 dropping off. And they was playing 1v1 a lot of time with a holding midfielder in front or 2 of them to try and shield that, and still trying to find them, and found them quite a lot. If I had the midfielders where they played today, where they're pressing up against you and there's spacing behind that midfielder for one of my 2 10s, or my number 9 to get into, or my number 9 to stretch it, and the 2 10s to get into that space, my pass completion rate would be a joke, and my attempts into those number 10 areas and spaces behind the opposing midfielders will be through the roof. No one will be near me with them attempts, because that was the part I look for. Leny Yoro, there's a lot of opportunities for those in this team. Martinez and Shaw on the left-hand side, they do that well, but they're accustomed to playing that position a bit more. I think Leny Yoro, being younger and more inexperienced, I think he needs to be given them more of those looks in training. Whether he is or not, I don't know. But if I was giving one bit of advice now, especially with the ball, I'd be saying, giving them looks on the ball. Thierry highlighted this point to me. He said about Dalot going into the position, that deeper position when Yoro went off. We created about 2 or 3 chances, starting with Dalot playing out from the back. You can have your opinion on what you think of Dalot, but in that area, he knows how to play, facing the game. But that's like a minor thing, man. I think, as I said, we just need to get some confidence back. We've had a bit of a bumpy last few weeks, so we need to build some confidence. Going to Ellen Road, tough game, man. Tough. It might not be as tough on other people's schedule, but Man United going to Ellen Road is a tough game given the rivalry. And I thought a 1-1 result away from home, I think you take that in the condition we go into the game with the players that we're missing as well. And I've got to finish with Cunha. He's the one guy I look at and I see something in the game always that I go, that's why you buy him. That's why you bought him. He holds people off at times. He gets you up the pitch with his ability to hold onto the ball for 3-4 seconds. Takes the sting out of it at times. His run for the goal was brilliant, and that's what I loved about the goal. From the back at Dalot, playing through the lines into the 9, I think it was. Sesko sets the ball. Cunha's on his way. Through ball from Xerxes. Goal. Like, that's old school football. That ain't like, oh, this is great, the way we're playing now, systematic and playing through the lines. That was up, back, through. That's old school football. That ain't ever going to change that. That is a pattern that should be repeated in training all day long. You know who's great at that? Carlos Queiroz done that up, back, through all day long, every day of the week, even twice on a Sunday. And it becomes part of your game. Do you know what I mean? You look at these things like the goal against Arsenal in the Champions League when the players are running through. It's like just being able to identify where spaces are on the pitch and sprinting 100 miles an hour to get there. Understanding the layoff, the pace of the ball and the layoff. Like, these are the basics, yeah. But sometimes I think we're overthinking it in modern football. But yeah, man, I want to get into the chat. Is anyone in the chat yet? Let's go, man. Where's the Q&A? I need people in the Q&A to come in and give me some questions, man. I want to get them. Let's go. It's Kevu17. There is absolutely no way we can and ever should get rid of Bruno. Most obvious miss in the Premier League. Yeah, well, I've been saying this for ages, man. Someone even sent me a cap. I can't remember. It's a great cap. Bruno's the problem. You see it in games like this. The amount that we're lacking in creativity around the other team's box, or we're not a threat from really far out. He makes us a threat all over the pitch because his passing range is so good. And I think anyone that looks at Bruno, and I think Rick who supports Man United, he's on socials. Rick the Red, I think his name is. He bangs on about not having Bruno and wouldn't play Bruno. Miles off it. And Rick, I love all your content and what you do, but you're miles off it, pal. You are. You can't have what he has and do what he does and go if buts and maybes all over the place. You've got to have a bit of respect and go, you know, actually, if it was as easy as you say it is, and he's doing so much wrong, you couldn't post numbers like he does consistently the way he does. Don't care what you say. So yeah, I agree with it's Kevu 17. At Cloud Pete, Gabriel and Saliba took them 4 seasons to be where they are now. Yeah, I don't know if it's 4 seasons. I think for the last 2 seasons they've looked solid. The difference that I would say with Saliba and Gabriel They know who they're playing with every week. They play with a back four every week also. They play with 2 centre halves that play right and left back. Calafiori by trade as centre half. Timber by trade as a centre back. If he doesn't play, Ben White, when Saliba and Gabriel first started, Ben White was playing right back. Solid units alongside them. Do you know what I mean? Playing tight at times in. So it's a 4 when they lose the ball. All the team get straight back in great shape. There's good protection around them. I'm not taking anything away from the boys. Saliba and Gabriel have been magnificent for the last couple of years. But sometimes you have to credit what's around them as well. And I think they are playing in a team that absolutely gives them the best chance to be the best version of themselves. Because I think another thing you look at, when the subs come in, the 2 centre halves come in, the new guys, they've looked really solid. Nothing's really changed because the team functions really well. Man United's issue with their centre backs is the team doesn't function well enough to protect them at times. And all good centre halves at times need protection. I've had Owen Hargreaves in front of me at times. I've had Michael Carrick at times. Nicky Butt before that, Roy Keane. There's elements of protection. People know where to be on the football pitch to help you, and playing in pairs and playing in 3s and 4s around you to protect you. So it's every great partnership or every great player needs a team around them as well to be able to perform. Muster went Banda 9124. Do you think Aiden Heaven has the potential to become as good a centre back as you, legend? He's got world-class potential, in my opinion. Listen, he's got a lot to do, obviously. He's a young kid, man, but he's going in the right direction in terms of putting in performances, looking solid. There's a big difference. He's a young kid making all of his mistakes on the biggest stage in the Premier League at Manchester United, where all eyes are on him. I was making a lot of my mistakes at West Ham. No disrespect. The big channels, we weren't getting the big games week in, week out. Man United do. So I could afford to make mistakes and no one would really know about it. If Evan makes a mistake now, absolute gunshots are being fired. Same as Leny Yoro. So it's very different. They've got a lot more to contend with, but there's a lot of hard work to be going in there. They need some luck. Need to be in the right timing of the right team as well. All these things have to add up for anyone to have a chance. Save the Jungle 1789. How can we start with 6 defenders? Heaven, Leacher, Shaw, Yoro, Dallo, Dorgu. I know what you're saying, but needs must. The squad is way for thin at the moment. You see the bench. Our bench is probably one of the youngest in the league, if not Europe, maybe, at the moment, what we're having to put out. Darren Fletcher's 2 sons, but before they were on the bench, they came on, and you're looking at it and you're going, my God, great potential, but they're babies. It's all right having 1 or 2 of them. When you've got loads, you've got Shea Lacey as well. You had Cheeto. You've got a load of young kids that are on the bench, and you're going, we need to recruit some players, man. That's why I'm looking at this window and thinking, have we sharpened our knives and are we ready to rock and roll in this window, or are we going to sit here and wait for the AFCON boys to come back and hope everyone stays fit? Because for whatever reason, I mean, we've sold a hell of a lot of strikers, especially a lot of attacking players. And now we've got our left wing back playing right wing, Dorgu. But listen, we'll see. Jape 7085, get Danny Welbeck now. Well, I said never sell Danny Welbeck. I said, how the hell have we allowed Danny Welbeck to go? Now we're seeing just why I was adamant about that. Because he's scoring goals, he's missing Panenkes with Brighton, he's doing his thing, he's bubbly, he's a player you can depend on. Dependable Danny Welbeck, 100%. But that ship's out, it's gone now. He's too old. Shouldn't have let him go in the first place. Yeah, the guys, admin, Rio Ferdinand presents only 3 attacking players in the matchday squad today. What does that tell you? We need to go and recruit, or we need players back ASAP, 1 of the 2. What are we going to do? That's the question. That's what every Man United fan's looking at now. Are we going to wait for AFCON to finish to get some attacking players back, or are we going to delve into the transfer market again? And if we do, what level are we going in at? Travel game or Cropper. Do we need to sign an attacker this January? If so, who? Oh, yeah, I mean, I still say we should have signed Osimhen. I don't want to keep going there, but we should have signed him. Because there's no questions asked there. There's just pure experience. But But when you've got attacking players on the pitch, I mean, like today, the goal today is a really good example. If you play good ball into Sesko, I don't think we play it into him enough. That's one big thing. And I think that's where the defenders have to start looking, I think, because that ball was me. I love that one. Look to go over to the right side, whip it into the front man or number 10. We've got 2 number 10s and a 9. There's 3 players and they've got 3 options to play in. Do you know what I mean? And they've done it beautifully in that for that goal. That goal should be there on the big screen when the players go in the gym tomorrow or in the classroom tomorrow, and that goal should be just on repeat from back to front. This is how you score goals, guys. This is easy. It isn't really like, it doesn't need Bruno all the time to have to produce magic. We can play basic as long as we're all on the same plane, like on the same hymn sheet. It just really just showed that it can be done. These players can do that. Just need to believe, man. Ryan, I'll get your music, 254. What do you make of Sesko? I think he's a work in progress. And I do think he needs to get ball more into him. I thought today, at times, he was a bit loose with it. But I still think when we get into the attacking third and we're in and around the box, we're not crossing the ball enough. It was interesting when I interviewed Bruno and he was talking about he actually has conversations with the forwards and Sesko in particular about where to be when he's got the ball at his feet around the box. I think that conversation, Sesko should be going around a change room with everyone. When you get in these areas, this is where I like it. This is where I need it, because he needs everybody more than anything. The number 9 needs everybody because they're everyone's service to him. He needs people to be serving him stuff on a plate. Tell him where you want it, run. So I think Sesko, there's something there. He needs time. He's young. Not easy as we've seen to be a number 9 at Man United in this era. So a lot of hard work to be done. Slim Reaper 9. Dalot did well. Was a solid team performance. Yep, playing out from the back. I thought he was really good late on when he went back into that position deeper. He was much better. Sees the game. Can play. Can pass. When he's watching, when he's looking at the game rather than when he's having to play if he's back to play in the high wing back position. I don't really like him up there, I've got to be honest. But again, I think we need to say and reiterate this, is that Man United have gone to Leeds, tough place, hostile atmosphere, in a moment where confidence is a bit shaky and got a draw and walk off the pitch looking disappointed. Last season, I think everyone would have been high-fiving each other going, wow, what a result that is. So there's an improvement in that sense, but still lots more improvement we need. Champion TV 0388. This is my best thing, my best comment of the day. What do you make of Lemens? I think he's been an absolute steal. Recruitment have done a wonderful job getting him. Great job getting him. I don't know if anybody else was interested or it didn't seem like it. We managed to be quite a seamless one that we got. He has given us some confidence back there. He's instilled a confidence from a fan watching the game that you look at and go, I think if they get behind the centre backs, I still think we've got him to beat as well, even though they did beat him today. But he just looks calm and composed. He's a type, I think, you look at some players who we buy and you go, we're buying him for now. We're buying that player for now to get us through this period. But when we start doing well, if and when we start doing well, he will be surplus. We'll get rid of him. Lemens, he's here for now, and if we start doing well in the next couple of years or few years, he'll be one you keep 100% because he's made of the right stuff. Level-headed, calm, cool, and collected goalkeeper. Love it. Jerry Lamb 564. Rio, do you think we are in the right direction? I'm not sure. I just feel that if you look at what you have to look at from this season to last season, have we improved? The position in the table will tell you yes. Only a couple of weeks ago, people are looking at Champions League and going, I'll be disappointed if we don't finish Champions League. That's where we were playing at the time. Couple of bad results. Confidence has dropped. And some people are starting to throw their toys out of them and go, oh my God, it's terrible, this, that, and loads of negativity coming. I think there's been improvement in some areas. I think that, like I said, position-wise, it looks much better than it did last season. Still room for improvement. But I still think that team identity of way of playing needs to be more consistent and more pronounced. It's not hitting me between the eyes still, as that this is how we play in a positive fashion, because I'm not seeing enough patterns consistent enough. I'm seeing flashes of it, like today, the goal today. That's real good team play. I'm sure that's been worked on. Like, are we seeing that common theme enough to go? This is what we are. This is how we are. Still, far too often we're relying on a Bruno moment to create something. For me, so yeah, I still think there's stuff to improve on. I just want this manager to get another window as well, and I think to really get another couple of players of his choice in, to really go forward with a real proper judgment on him, because I still think he's playing with a lot of players that aren't his players. That's no letting him off or anything like that, but again, I think he's got a unique style of football, a unique formation that he plays that needs particular players more than anything. And I don't think he's got enough of those players that he wants yet. So the one thing I would say in terms of improvement, I think we've improved last season in just attacking areas. We're scoring more goals. We look more threatening. You can say what you want about the attacking players as individuals, but we are creating more chances. You look at Mbeumo, he makes us better. I think Amad's been better again this year in that wide right position. Cunha's been a breath of fresh air. Say what you want about Sesko, but he does bring people into play a bit, and he causes problems here and there. Needs to just get on the goal trail. Bruno still creating from a deeper position. Mason Mount's come in this season when he's been fit. Has been really good. Played at a really good level. So I think in attacking areas we've definitely improved. But I still think we need to find some balance, some proper balance in the team. So there you have it, guys. I think, listen, man, I've had a good time. One thing I would say, I think Chelsea, what is going on there? The fella's won 2 trophies and he's gone. I don't know what the reasons are. I hope it comes out and we can find out the reasons, but he's gone. They've won 2 trophies. They're building a young squad. They look hungry. Yeah, they're inconsistent, but when you're that young, I think you've got to accept inconsistencies. But I can't wait for the fallout. I can't wait to find out what's actually gone on. Because I didn't see Maresca walking away from that. Sorry, I just didn't. When I met him, he seemed like a really nice guy, enjoying his job, enjoying working there at Chelsea. But you never know what's going on. It's like Instagram, isn't it? You never really know what's going on. Pictures and videos don't tell the full story. Just like when they're in management, when you see them in interviews, press conferences, doesn't really tell the full story a lot of the time. So anyway, listen, guys, really good to be back on the lives in a new year. First one of the year. Leeds United won, Man United won. Come on, Man United. We've got to improve. Leeds United made it tough. Ellen Road, a tough place to go for Man United. But 1-1 I thought was a fair result. Guys, I'll see you this week. Rio presents. Myself, Joe and Steve will be back on Monday morning, well, Monday afternoon. Make sure you tune in. Subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Turn your notifications on. Tell a friend or family that we're coming. We're here for the new year, and we're coming back bigger and better this year with more great interviews on the Rio Meet Strand as well. And there'll be more activity going on the channel. So keep your eyes peeled, guys. All right. Take care. Thank you for coming on for the live. Appreciate it. See you guys soon.